Okay, so I'm going to continue looking at some software that's out there which allows you as a teacher to work with young people to create digital media or games. The stuff I'm looking at is particularly, the reason I'm looking at it is because it's accessible. There's no steep learning curve. A lot of it features these drag and drop interfaces. This one, Weebly for Education, like the last one, Minecraft, has a classroom mode, an add-on, so you as a teacher can keep track of what students are doing and keep them on the path that you want to. Whereas, I mean, if you put a kid in front of Minecraft, they're just going to start playing Minecraft unless you had like the classroom add-on, which we looked at in the last one, where you can keep them on the right path. The same with this. Again, just as Minecraft for Education was basically Minecraft with add-ons on top of it, this one is basically Weebly with an education module, so you can keep websites that are created in the classroom safe, that they're not available to anyone on the web, and you can keep a track of what the students are doing. So next we're going to look at what Weebly is. I'll read you the promotional material that the Weebly site has. Weebly for Education is perfect for you and your students. Weebly is perfect for creating classroom websites, student e-portfolios, and websites for assigned projects. Our drag and drop website editor is stunningly simple to use and appropriate for use with students of all ages. Weebly enables your students to express themselves creatively using a variety of multimedia features, all within a protected environment that you control. Weebly was named one of Time's 50 best websites of the year, and here's why. You can create websites without code. It has a drag and drop editor, and it features a variety of multimedia features. So here's what's behind the scenes when you design a website. If you want to design a website from scratch, you start by writing HTML. You can write this in a program like Notepad++, which is pretty much a text editor. And you can write it all just in text. You can write an entire website doing this. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. And this basically, you put in your text in there and you put it in sections, such as the body and the head, and you put it in the paragraphs in there. That takes care of all the text. Now you style your website. You add the colors, you add the fonts and space in between each section of text in something called CSS, or cascading style sheets. You write that as well, and you correspond it to the areas of the HTML to create the website. The current versions are HTML5 and CSS3, and then you might add, if you had a database in the background, you'd use PHP and MySQL to link in and go and retrieve stuff from the database, information that you needed. If you had products or a list of students, that'll come out of that. And then you have some JavaScript or jQuery, which is libraries of JavaScript to add more functionality. Or you'd use, you put that together, you can either use something like Notepad++ or something like Dreamweaver from Adobe. Say people make Photoshop, which is known as a WYSIWYG, or what you see is what you get editor, which helps you in the process. And it's writing code in the background while you're doing it. Or you can use something which is very popular now, like WordPress, which is what's known as a content management system, which takes care of a lot of that. People use it a lot for blogs, and now a lot of websites are made on the WordPress template. That's free and well worth looking into. We're looking at Weebly, which is again simpler than WordPress. Everything's just drag and drop. That's why we're looking at it. It's really the simplest introduction to web design that you can get. So here's some of the features of Weebly and why it's a great starting place in web design. Again, I'm going to be reading this from their promotional stuff. It's an easy drag and drop website editor. Our core advantage is our stunningly simple drag and drop website editor. Videos, pictures, maps and text are added by simply dragging them into your website. We love it when new customers are totally surprised by how straightforward it is to build a website with Weebly. No HTML or technical skills required. A managed protective environment for your students. With Weebly, you can password protect all your students' websites with one click. We understand that privacy is extremely important to teachers, students and parents. You have full control over which websites are public, which are private, which can be edited by a student. It's simple to bulk create new student accounts and oversee your student activity. Powerful multimedia features. If you can imagine it, you can do it with Weebly. Add pictures, video, audio players, documents, maps, photo galleries easily by dragging and dropping. Use Weebly's unbranded audio and video players so that you and your students do not need to venture out to YouTube or similar services to add high quality audio and video to your sites. Flexible blogging features. Post class updates, homework assignments, and news for parents using our super slick blogging features. Blogs are also great for students to express their thoughts and receive comments from others. Weebly supports an unlimited number of blogs within your website to full comment moderation features, allowing an open, moderated, or closed conversation. It's free, very important. It's completely free to create and publish a website with Weebly. Our service has always been and always will be free. You can get a pro account, but with the free account you can add 40 students, which I think is quite enough to be going on with. No advertising. We don't advertise on your site and never will. A lot of these free web design services have a lot of adverts, either when you're creating the websites or when you built the website. It'll be plastered all over them, adverts coming up. Weebly doesn't do that. 70 plus designs, or customize your own. Deciding on a look for your website couldn't be easier. We have dozens of beautiful designs to choose from and add more regularly. Want to bring your own? You can completely customize the template of your site or build your own with HTML and CSS right in the Weebly editor. Hosting included, no restrictions. We provide the hosting so you don't have to pay for a hosting provider. Hosting is where you put your website up to. So when people go to it, they go www. whatever your website is. It goes to a server, and that's where your website is stored. We don't impose arbitrary bandwidth restrictions, storage caps, or limits on the number of pages allowed. The Weebly service is fully available online, so there's nothing for you to install or configure. Our hosting infrastructure is backed by an army of servers that provide reliable stability for your website, all for free. Publish to your own domain. If you already have a website, you can publish the website created in Weebly to your own web address. The website you create in Weebly will have a .weebly.com address at the end. I'm going to go over that. But yeah, so there's the features, and that's why we're going to go through this one. Okay, so I'm going to go through how you actually create a website and create a classroom and let other students create websites in a password protected environment. So the address there is education.weebly.com. The first thing you have to do, create a username. It's going to say if it's available or not. The password, and then put in an email address. Accept the terms of services. Sign up. Okay, fill out your details here. Just do this quickly. School name, where your school is. School districts, just put in your country here. What would you like to do next? You're going to set up a class or create a website. First thing I'm going to do is I'll show you how to create a website. Create a website, set up a class. Those are the two things I'm going to go through. Okay, so the next screen is where you choose a theme for your website. These are pre-made templates that you can use as a starting point. You change as much as you want. These are the featured ones here. There are ones here for if you want an online store, if you have a business, for instance, they have pre-made templates for those. Portfolio websites, personal websites, events, and blogs. I find when you're starting out with this stuff, the easiest thing to do is start with the most simple one you can possibly find. and then change it from there. So I'm going to try to start with this one. I hope this is a simple enough one. And then, actually, while that's going on, here's another thing. If you ever want to see what's going on behind a website, this is one I designed many moons ago. If you just press Control and U key, it will give you all. This is what's actually happening. That's CSS there, and then you've got some JavaScript there, and then all this is HTML. Just to have a look at what's going on in the background on any website that you're looking at. Okay, back to Weebly. Choose your website domain. If you have your own domain, you can connect it to one here. If you already have your website and you want to replace it with one done in Weebly, most of what you're doing in the first ones is going to be this first one. Use a subdomain of weebly.com. So I'm just going to call it Adrian Fielding. It's going to tell you if it's available. adrianfielding.weebly.com. So that's going to be my web address. Okay, so this here is the main menu. Okay, so as I said, this is the first page, the dashboard that you're going to use to create your website. I've actually changed the theme there to a simpler one that's going to, because I'm going to do a demonstration here of how to set up a website really quickly. And this one just works better for what I need. So this is the home page here. On the home page, you can just change the text here, just simply just like any text editor. I'm currently in Blackburn, Lancashire, in the UK, which is where I'm from. So I'm going to do one for our local team, Blackburn Rovers FC, just to quickly put one together. So to see your website, you click the Publish button, continue. It publishes it. Good news. Okay, that's just trying to just ignore that. Just click on this to go to it. And that's currently on my website. You see the only change there, Blackburn Rovers FC, it's still got this image on here, which I'm going to change. It's still got the default setup here, blank pages. But that's actually on the web there now. So I can just go in and start changing all this here. Okay, so back to Weebly. So I'm going to I'm going to edit the background first of all. And I'm going to put an image in. Add an image. Now you can choose default images here. I'll just try with one of those. Just to see how they work. There you see it automatically changes to whatever you put in. Or you can upload an image. Upload an image from your computer. Where am I getting these images from? A good way to get images, if you go onto the internet page, just go to Google. I'm going to put in Blackburn Rovers. Go to images on the top. It's going to come up with a lot of images. Let's have a look at one. Maybe that one. Okay, so I'm going to click on it. It's going to load that image in. I just right click and put save image as. I've already got some here. So I'll call that Blackburn Rovers 1. Save. I've saved it there. I'm going to go back to Weebly. Upload a photo from your computer. Go to the file, the folder that you saved them in. That was the one, I think. Click open. It's uploading it there. And there's the image. Put it in there. So I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to publish it again. Go to it. Refresh it. And it didn't work. And there it is, updated with my new image. I'll continue this in the next video.